Hello, true duelists. My name's Craig Fee, and welcome to the New Card Report. We have at long last reached the end of new cards being debuted in Phantom Nightmare for the OCG, and as is tradition, we're looking at straight pack filler that would make even something like Star Packs blush. So let's get to it, and then moving on to hyping up Legacy of Destruction because the cycle never ends. Let's start with Time Rewinder, a level 8 machine with 1200 attack and 2400 defense. This card can summon itself from the hand if a monster or monsters on the field is flipped face up during the main phase, and can then change one monster on the field to face down defense position. It also has an effect when it itself is flipped face up in the main phase to target a monster in your graveyard and then summon it in defense position, after which you can flip one monster on the field to face down defense position. Both of these effects have a hard once per turn, but you could make them a hard once per duel and no one would care outside of approximately 12 crawler players. And even then, I'm pretty sure crawlers are doing more and better without something like this just by using their own cards. Digging for something positive to say about this, it is a Book of Moon effect that doesn't target up to twice, arguably, and that's it. It's a body for flip decks, and to get the most out of it, you have to flip this thing itself with the first effect, which is so horribly underwhelming. And the botched Herald looking thing that's going on art-wise functions exactly like a botched card would, I suppose. It's a botched pizza shit. I do suppose that it is at least not too upsetting for those of you who might have PTSD from Drytron, because this isn't a Herald card, even though visually it may as well be. And that's all about, that's it. I don't care to say anything else about this card. BERSERK Archfiend is up next, a level 6 Dark Fiend with 2000 attack and 0 defense, that can summon itself from the hand by targeting and destroying up to 2 of your monsters on the field, but you'll need to destroy at least 1 fiend, which is a pretty tall ask for simply a 2k beater. So to make up for that, Konami made it so when a monster is destroyed by this card's effect to summon itself, you can target an equal number of monsters on the field that the opponent controls, and then have this card gain attack equal to their original attack until the end of the turn. Well, that really doesn't make up for it, does it? By itself, it becomes a beater in a way that makes Imperm feel like a fantastic card, and an Omni-Negate like Barone feel completely absurd. Can you imagine? I pop 2 of my monsters to summon Berserk, and then activate the effect. What's that? Oh, you're negating it, and I've gone -3 for a play that would lose to Magic Cylinder anyways? Oh. Although, this is an Archfiend, so maybe that's what it's intended to be used with. I know that Archfiends have some amount of effects that activate on destruction or when sent to the grave by card effect. Harris can search, I think it's Cavalry, revives from the grave, so you can trigger some of their effects maybe. Could be decent in its own deck, but I'm not going to pretend to know or care about Archfiends. It also could be Unchained support, being a level 6 fiend that destroys cards, but it could also not be played in Unchained at all, seeing as how the 2 dogs do anything this is doing much better, and, you know, consistently, because named Unchained. Stranger Big Bang is simply put the most Yusei looking card in this set, a level 5 light warrior with 2100 attack and 1500 defense. It can be special summoned from your hand if a monster is summoned from the extra deck, and during the main phase, it can do the single most Yusei thing in this entire set. It can lower the levels of as many other monsters on the field as possible by 1, and then increase its own level by the number of levels reduced. It also has an effect in your battle phase or on the opponent's main phase to destroy a card on the field, provided it's level 8 or higher, but it will then become level 5 again. Oh yeah, this is pack filler. I feel like it being a self-summoning level 5 and a light attribute is far better than anything else that it's doing on the field, because by being a self-summoning level 5 light, it's Pleiades material, and Pleiades is a lot better than a pop. And that's all I care to say. This video is going to be long enough as it is. This card sucks unless you're playing Pleiades Turbo, and if you're playing Pleiades Turbo, I'm confused, but I do respect it. I know I'm getting this wrong. Tsudoyu Chatsubo? Correct me in the comments, I did get that wrong, and I will never ever learn. This level 3 zombie tuner has a dark attribute, 500 attack and 0 defense, and has an effect while in the field to make it so face down defense position monsters in the same column as this card cannot change their battle positions, nor can set spell or traps be activated that are in the same column. It also has an Indigo Mech Knight-like effect to once per turn move itself to an unused adjacent main monster zone, and if it was moved into another main monster zone, it'll change all monsters in the same column as it to face down defense position. That's cute. It's also just like a bell or a ball or something. It's clearly referencing something I don't understand, because all I'm taking from this is it's a tuna. And the weirdest Book of Moon version of Yugioh Invader to have ever existed, except the hard once per turn makes it so it's not even fun to watch for the memes. As with most cards in this video, I can't really see this being played for its effect, and even if you just wanted a generic level 3 zombie tuner, there's better competition, such as Ash Blossom, which has utility in the hand, or if you want one that's not necessary to keep in the hand to get the most out of it, there's a decent level 3 zombie tuner by the name of, I don't know, Unizombie? Just a thought. Principug is up next, a level 1 Earth Beast with 0 attack and defense, and the weirdest piece of support in a minute. This pug can target a face-up monster you control that cannot be normal summoned or set with Guardian in its name, and then let that target attack twice this turn. It can also be banished from the grave to target a Guardian in your grave that cannot be normal summoned or set, and then either add it to your hand or add a card mentioned on it from your graveyard back to your hand. So my brain immediately went to Gate Guardian, and in particular Gate Guardian Avengers Assembled, or whatever the hell the big fusion's called. But it is also support for any card with Guardian in its name that can't be normal summoned or set. Like a Guardian Dread Scythe gets brought up a lot, and 26 other cards that no one really cares about and are completely unrelated to whatever this thing is. This isn't the only card in the set that supports Gate Guardian, for what it's worth, so that's the biggest hint as to what's going on here, but that did not stop Redditors from going on and complaining that this wasn't support for that Guardian archetype that all need an equip spell to be summoned from like 2004 that's been unplayable since day one, and I think that really sums up this card. No one really knows what the fuck is going on here, and somehow people are still upset. Not unlike pugs at large, because they are a species bred into existence against the will of God. The more you know. Dinos stacking, I'm sticking with it, is a level 1 Earth Beast as well, but this one has 600 attack and defense. Wow. Once per turn, when a card or effect is activated, even during the damage step, get this folks, you can quick effect roll a 6-sided die. I know, we're dripping with anticipation at this point, aren't we? And then you'll apply the following effects depending on the chain link number that this effect is activated in. So if you activate this as chain link 2, this card will gain 500 attack times the result of the die roll until the end of the turn. If you activate it as chain link 3, it will instead deal damage to the opponent equal to the die roll results times 500. And if somehow you're playing this and wait to chain link 4 or higher, this will destroy cards on the field up to the result. That's right, folks, this card is a potential +6. It's almost always going to be filling bulk boxes, but in a duel it could be a +6. This is a great way to play Performance Pal without really playing Performance Pal, you know? It's a woefully underwhelming effect on a weirdly circus-looking animal. Or I think it's circus-themed because of the dice. What is it, playing Yahtzee? Also, the more I look at it, it's kind of more royal than circus. Why is it royalty? And most of all, why haven't I just moved on to the next card because it's a fucking die roll card and pack filler? Who cares? Moonblaze Dragon Vagnawa is a level 7 Dark Dragon Synchro with 1500 attack and defense, and my Resonator brain is so excited for this generic material needing Dark Dragon level 7 Synchro. It has one effect, and it's once per turn. That is, on Synchro Summon, to gain attack equal to the levels of the non-tuners used to summon it, times 300, until the end of the next turn, as well as deal damage to the opponent equal to the level of the tuner used, times 300. So 2 things. Why does it lose the attack? The most thing that would happen, the most thing, does that say thing? It says this. Reading is hard, folks. Get it? Yu-Gi-Oh! The most that this card will attack, gain, get, be, speaking's hard too, is 3,300, which yes, is pretty big for a level 7 Synchro, but it's functionally a vanilla at that point. It's 2023, is a 33 level 7 vanilla at most generic synchro really the end of the world? Probably not, but it's probably only going to be seeing play in synchro decks either eager for a cowboy for game type of card to just burn for damage in time, and or in Red Dragon Archfiend decks as a stepping stone because it's a level 7 Dark Dragon. Very simple, it's fine effect-wise, right? I mean, winning in time is winning in time. Feels so great, but it does at least have a sick as shit art. That is cool as hell. And by virtue of not being wholly a waste of space, it's also the best card seen in this video. What an achievement. So thanks as always to LIFD for the continued support, for me being able to show off my pack filler as I talk to you about pack filler. Either way, promo code YGOStrats15 to get 15% off one of these to display whatever cards you'd like in whichever way you'd like. Take for example, check this out, you can put them upside down. Why would you do that? I literally have no clue. I'm just demonstrating a product. Either way, if you want to help me out, this is the best way to do it currently, and I'll say thanks to you if you do, and thanks to LIFD regardless for giving me the opportunity. This is it for the new card report. I will have the update on Friday as always. We'll see if this sticks. I'm trying to make it different. Do you feel like I've made the same video 28 times this month? Because I sure as shit do. So we'll see how well I can spice it up. Go ahead and tell me how awful I look in this brown suit and blue tie. What is going on here? I don't know, but I'm trying something. So thanks for watching. Hit subscribe, become a true duelist, and I'll see you next week on the Yu-Gi-Oh! Update, my fellow true duelists.